Imagine a phone so successful it became its own worst enemy. Samsung didn't kill the A70 series because it failed, they killed it because they were scared of it. It was so good it was actually destroying their own flagship sales. But after 3 years of silence, the flagship killer is officially coming back in 2026. Back in its prime, the A70 was a gigantic premium mid-ranger. Great display, huge battery, flagship adjacent features for a mid-range price. That made it dangerously attractive. And that's part of the story. Samsung then did the unthinkable. They killed it. They erased this popular mid-range series from existence because it wasn't just competing with rivals, it was eating Samsung's own flagships alive. To understand why it's coming back, we first have to understand why it was assassinated. The Galaxy A70 series, specifically the A73, was arguably the best value phone Samsung ever made, and that was the problem. The A73 was too good. It offered a massive screen and great cameras at a price that made the S22 and S23 FE look like bad deals. Let's jump back to 2022. You are at the store with $600 budget. You want a Samsung because you trust the brand, but you want the most bang for your buck. You are looking at 3 boxes on the shelf, and the math just isn't adding up. Option 1 is the Galaxy A53, which you can get for $450. You get a 6.5-inch screen, a decent 64-megapixel camera, and a massive 5000 mAh battery. It's solid, but you want a little more. Then you have option 2, that is the Galaxy A73, which you can get for about $500. For just $50 more, you hit the jackpot. You get a massive 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus display and a staggering 108-megapixel main camera. Plus, you keep that 5000 mAh battery. It feels premium, it looks huge, and it's fast. Then you have the option number 3, the Galaxy S23 FE. You pay $100 more than the A73, but look at what you get. A smaller 6.4-inch screen, a low-resolution 50-megapixel main camera, and a smaller 4500 mAh battery. Did you see the problem? Samsung was asking you to pay $100 more for the S branding, while giving you a smaller screen, a smaller battery, and a camera with fewer megapixels than the cheaper A73. The A73 was not just a good deal, it was a glitch in the system. It offered a plus-sized flagship experience for a mid-range price. To the average buyer, the S23 FE looked like a rip-off next to the A73. As long as the A73 existed, the S-Series Fan Edition was doomed to fail. So they didn't try to outcompete the A73, they just made sure it disappeared. Samsung didn't just stop making the phone, they engineered its failure. This is where the story gets dark. First, they strangled the supply. They did not launch the A73 globally. They skipped major markets like the UK and parts of Europe, making it a ghost phone. If people can't buy it, they can't love it. If you want to know how much Samsung feared this phone, look at the production line. Internal reports revealed a shocking disparity. Samsung only manufactured 3.4 million units of the Galaxy A73. Compare that to its weaker brother, the A53, which saw a massive 28 million units hit the shelves. This isn't just a difference in popularity, that is a calculated starvation. Samsung deliberately ensured that for every one A73 in the world, there were 8 A53s. But it wasn't just about how many they made, it was about where they sold them. By skipping major Western markets and pulling back on global marketing, Samsung created a massive power vacuum in the $500 price bracket. And in the tech world, a vacuum doesn't stay empty for long. As soon as Samsung stepped back, the sharks moved in. The A73 wasn't just fighting for air, it was surrounded by some of the most aggressive rivals we have ever seen. We're talking about the Google Pixel 6a, the Oppo Reno 8 Pro, and the Vivo V25 Pro. Even the hype-heavy Nothing Phone 1 and the powerhouse OnePlus 10T rushed in to claim the territory Samsung had abandoned. By making the A73 a ghost in its own market, Samsung didn't just let it die. They signed its death warrant and handed the keys to their competitor. It was a strategic retreat that left fans of the A70 series in the dark until now. So fast forward to today, the internet is losing its mind over a leaked Geekbench score for a device labeled as SM776D. That D stands for global, and that name, that's the Galaxy A77. This isn't just a refresh. The leak shows a deca-core processor. This appears to be a specialized version of the Exynos 2400, the same architecture that powered the S24 flagship. We are talking about an Xclipse 940 GPU based on AMD's RDNA3 architecture. At this point, you might be wondering, why is Samsung doing a 180-degree turn in 2026? It's not out of the goodness of their hearts, it's math. Look, the Galaxy S23 FE was supposed to be the mid-range hero, but it failed to capture the market. It was too expensive and felt too much like a light version of a flagship. Samsung realized they need a true A-series powerhouse to compete. In 2026, global memory prices have skyrocketed. But here's the thing, Samsung makes the memory, while competitors like Google or Motorola have to pay a premium for RAM and storage. Samsung can put 12 or 16 GB of RAM into A77 at a fraction of the cost. They are hitting their competitor where it hurts the most, their wallets. Now people are holding on to their phones longer. They don't want a budget phone, but they can't justify $1,300 for an Ultra. There is a massive vacuum for a $500 to $600 phone that feels like a $1,000 one. So the A77 is Samsung's way of saying we are not afraid anymore.